Welcome to the Mighty Blues. My name is, of course, Cameron, and welcome back today to another video. It is the weekly news roundup, the show where we sit down and talk about all of the latest Everton news from the last 7 days or so. There's obviously been a lot that has happened in the last week. The fallout from Saturday's Merseyside derby, of course, as well as a load of news regarding internationals and injuries and Marcel Brands as well. So let's get straight into it. Once again, as usual, this isn't in any particular order. I've just jotted the news down and we'll go through it as pairs. Update on Bramley-Moore Stadium. Yesterday was the last chance for fans to get any feedback and opinions in on the new changes to the stadium. Obviously, after feedback from Historic England and other organisations, Everton changed the sort of look at the stadium, removing the multi-storey car park that was on one of the sides and replacing it with a nice staircase sort of steps that overlook the River Mersey, which I think is absolutely fantastic. It's a brilliant addition. It's way better than the car park that was originally put out there, and it just makes the stadium look more homely and more inviting to people coming in. Now, of course, yesterday, like we mentioned, was the deadline for any feedback and opinions to be sent in to the football club. The stadium is still in the process of planning permission. It's expected to get planning permission within the next few months or so, and that is still being reviewed. And of course, that process had to start again because of the changes made to the stadium. So yesterday was the last chance for fans to get their opinions and feedback in on Bramley-Moore Stadium, and hopefully all of those opinions and feedback will be getting taken into consideration now. Carlo Ancelotti has spoke to the press today ahead of Everton's Premier League fixture this Sunday against Southampton. He's provided an update on injuries. Seamus Coleman will be unavailable for this game due to an injury that he picked up in the Merseyside derby. Ben Godfrey is set to start his first game for Everton Football Club. He's set to play at right back. Carlo Ancelotti said that he's been training specifically as a right back this week. He's been improving well. He's massively impressed, and he will fit in at right back on Sunday against Southampton at St Mary's. Carlo Ancelotti did come out on Thursday in an interview with EvertonFC.com and say that James Rodriguez will also be unavailable for the game due to an injury picked up in a collision with Virgil van Dijk. However, he has spoken about James Rodriguez in today's press conference and said that there is still a possibility that James could be fit. He's trained well today. His recovery has been fantastic, and he will train again with the team tomorrow before having a late fitness test ahead of Sunday's game. So hopefully James Rodriguez will be available for Sunday's game. I said it in the game preview earlier on. I wouldn't be throwing him in there unless he is absolutely 110%. But if he is 110%, he starts for me because, you know, the creativity that he brings to the team and the assists and the goals that he scores and just his overall play, I think, you know, it's a lot to miss out on if he is 100% fit, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. Liverpool Echo reported earlier on this week that Everton had to wait until January to decide whether or not to open talks with Director of Football Marcel Brands over a new contract. Marcel Brands, of course, in the last year of his contract this year, and is a member of the board. The assumption for me is that he would sign a new deal. However, again, you don't really know where Marcel Brands' head's at. You don't know what decision he wants to make, as well as the decision that the club wants to make as well. So we'll have to wait another couple of months before we find out that, but Everton are due to wait until January to decide whether or not to open talks with Marcel Brands on a new contract. I'm sure we will open talks with Marcel Brands. He has split fan opinion, to be fair, since he's been at Everton Football Club. There's been some fans that haven't rated his time here, and there's been some fans that massively have. I think Marcel Brands done himself a lot of justice this summer transfer window just gone, not only with the level of player that he brought in, the likes of Alan, Decore, James Rodriguez, Ben Godfrey, but also the deals that he managed to get those players in on. You know, he brought Alan in for 15 million less than Napoli were demanding. He brought Decore in for 10 million less than 20 million less than what Watford wanted last summer. James Rodriguez coming in a free, so I think he's done absolute wonders this summer, and he deserves the praise. Okay, maybe some people don't agree with some of the signings he's made in previous seasons, but you look at the likes of Luca Dean, who's been fantastic as well, and for me, Marcel Brands is massively deserving of that new contract, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. It's been confirmed today that Everton will wear the new seafoam green and charcoal grey third kit, kind of like a mint green, isn't it? I think the official title is Seafoam Green and Charcoal Grey third kit this Sunday for the first time in their Premier League clash against Southampton at St Mary's. St Mary's is a stadium that we have seen Everton wear their third kits quite often over the years. We wore that notorious green kit with the orange detail on in that season where we beat them 3-0 and we absolutely dominated them. So hopefully we can have a very similar performance this Sunday. We're going to need it. It's going to be a difficult game. We did do the live game preview just before this video, so if you haven't checked that out, please do so. And we spoke about how difficult this game's going to be, especially with the suspension of Richarlison and the potential injury to James Rodriguez as well. But Everton will wear the new Seafoam Green and Charcoal Grey kit for the first time, and our trip to St Mary's on Sunday to play Southampton. It was announced earlier on this week that Mohamed Besic and Yannick Bolasie will not be in Everton's 25-man Premier League squad for this season. The squads were had to be submitted to the Premier League, and unfortunately Yannick Bolasie and Mohamed Besic did miss out. Yannick Bolasie has been quite vocal on social media about his disappointment with this, but to be fair, you know, I can't say I'm surprised. Obviously, Carlo Ancelotti came out a couple of weeks ago and spoke about Yannick Bolasie's future and said, look, you know, we're happy with him to get in and train at Finch Farm and you know, retain his fitness, but he hasn't got a future at the football club, and we're advising that he looks for another club. Obviously, Yannick Bolasie was very close to joining Middlesbrough on a season-long loan, I think, initially on deadline day, but that didn't quite become, and it fell through in the last minutes of deadline day, which was disappointing for Yannick Bolasie, but I suppose the decision to not include him in the 25-man squad was sort of expected. Don't get me wrong, I don't think it'd have been the worst thing to have him in there, certainly with Theo Walcott going out on loan, Moise Keane going out on loan, and obviously the injury issues that we're currently suffering from. Yannick Bolasie might have been an experienced head to have in there and a good head to have around the first team, but he won't be included in the 25-man Premier League squad, therefore can't play in the Premier League for Everton this season, at least until January, where I think we can submit it again, and neither will Mo Besic. Richarlison has been called up to the Brazil men's national team for their 2022 FIFA World Cup qualifying games against Venezuela and Uruguay. He has made the call up once again after impressing on international duty last time out. Obviously scored a goal in the last international game before the Merseyside derby for Brazil, and he is becoming a permanent fixture of that Brazil men's national team now, and not only a permanent fixture in getting called up, but also a permanent fixture regarding playing and featuring in a lot of Brazil's games, and also goal scoring. To be fair to Richarlison, he is on the score sheet very often when he plays for Brazil. Carlo Ancelotti earlier this week come out and spoke about Jordan Pickford, obviously after the media witch hunt towards Jordan Pickford due to the situation in the Merseyside derby with Virgil van Dijk. Carlo Ancelotti come out and was asked questions about the challenge, and he said, to be very clear, we are really sorry for the injury of Virgil van Dijk. Jordan arrived a little bit later, but his intention was to try to reach the ball. It was not to hurt Virgil van Dijk. He also said to say it was premeditated and this and that, in my opinion, is too much. Virgil van Dijk knows this. Jordan is really sad and really disappointed. He was asked today in his pre-game press conference, Carlo Ancelotti, whether Jordan Pickford had the chance to apologise. He said that he apologised to Liverpool captain Jordan Henderson directly after the game, and he's tried to apologise to Virgil van Dijk, but Carlo Ancelotti said he doesn't know whether he was successful in doing that. Obviously, this has been the biggest bit of news this week. Obviously the whole media witch hunt towards Jordan Pickford because of that challenge, which, let's have it right before we go into talking about it briefly. It was a poor challenge. It was a rash decision. It was a bad tackle by Jordan Pickford. I've spoke about this a lot this week, and I don't really want to talk too heavily on it because I did speak about it for about 30 to 45 minutes on Monday's review of the Liverpool game. But the media witch hunt against Jordan Pickford has been nothing short of embarrassing, and the abuse that Jordan Pickford has received, his fiancée has received, their child, the racial abuse that Richarlison has received off the tackle to Thiago, even though Richarlison come out and apologised. It's been absolutely disgusting, sickening, and those people who are sending death threats and threats of violence towards Jordan Pickford are simply not human beings. They're just scum. Let's have it right. For me, it was important that Carlo Ancelotti come out and spoke on this. It was important that Carlo Ancelotti set a precedent and said, look, end this witch hunt now. This could have been done a couple of days ago by Virgil van Dijk or by Klopp if they'd have come out, but it seems like Liverpool's intentions are more to further damage Jordan Pickford's career, because they're still having players coming out now talking about it and acting like it was a premeditated challenge. But I think the media need to listen to Carlo Ancelotti now and really back off this situation. I said it on yesterday's live stream. For me, if there's any more from the media regarding this, if there's any more suggestions of jail time for Jordan Pickford and suspension and any more of this, you know, it was a premeditated act of violence and assault and all of this crap that has come out of a lot of, you know, media pundits and journalists so far this week. I think any more of that, and Everton need to take serious legal action and just take these people down, because it is a complete defamation of character. It's clear Jordan Pickford was very upset after the challenge, and it's clear Jordan Pickford never meant to hurt Virgil van Dijk, and it was just an accident. So hopefully that can be the last of it now, because, you know, it's not good whatsoever, is it? And certainly not for Jordan Pickford and his family. It's been disgusting, it's been sickening, and, you know, it was a bad challenge. That was it. There's bad challenges have happened in football. Weird to anybody watching, but Virgil van Dijk isn't the first player to get a bad challenge done against them in a football match. There's been a lot of those challenges in the past, even this season. The player himself has put in a lot of bad challenges in his career, but hopefully that spells the end of the media witch hunt now. And like I said, any more, and Everton just need to go balls to the wall with legal action for me, because you know, these people think they can get away with absolutely everything when they just can't. And the final bit of information for today's video is that the officials have been announced for Sunday's game against Southampton. Kevin Friend will referee the game, and Simon Hooper will be the VAR. Not a personal favourite of mine, Kevin Friend. I don't think he particularly likes Everton. Don't know too much on Simon Hooper, to be perfectly honest with you. But like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of Kevin Friend, but we'll just have to see how it goes. Hopefully we won't need the assistance of the referee, and hopefully we won't need to rely on the referee's decisions on Sunday. Hopefully we can go out there and put in a decent enough performance to say, look, we've won the game fair and square without needing to look towards the referee. That is it for today's video. If you have enjoyed it, please do hit that like button. It does only take a second. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe as well. Another little bit of information, news, not to do with Everton Football Club specifically, but we hit 3,000 subscribers earlier on this week on the channel, so I want to say a big thanks to everybody who has ever watched, liked, subscribed a video on the Mighty Blues. I really do appreciate all of the support. Honestly, it means a massive amount to me. Big thanks to everybody for watching. If you have enjoyed it, please do hit that like button. Let me know your thoughts on everything we spoke about in the comment section down below, and we'll see you soon on the Mighty Blues.